Now, the information that we are getting here is that 2 armed robbers have been fatally wounded in the process. Well, police are saying that this entire incident started all the way from Port Shepstone. It's alleged that the armed robbers were involved in a robbery of a courier vehicle. Apparently, they robbed off some of the devices as well as some of the valuables in that vehicle. Police were able to give chase and they were able to trace these suspects to this residential area of Newlands East, and they were able to track them in one of the houses right behind us. But to give us more update on this entire incident is police spokesperson for KwaZulu-Natal, Brigadier J. Naika. Brigadier, well, you know, a lot of people, I'm sure they're asking themselves, I mean, Port Shepstone is all the way, like almost over 2 hours away from Durban, and police were able to track these suspects here. Just give us a breakdown how this entire incident happened, when it started, and how were they able to track these suspects.
Okay, the actual robbery that took place at around just after 6 o'clock this morning on the N2 near Paddock. The suspects confronted the courier vehicle on the road and they held up the driver and his crew. They then took certain items from the vehicle, which included a lot of electronic goods and other expensive items, which they loaded in the vehicle. They were using a Toyota Corolla sedan, which they loaded with, which they fled in. And police and security companies were immediately alerted. Obviously, using the technology that's available currently, they were able to track the vehicle all the way from Port Shepstone. And as they got here to Newlands East, they found the suspects getting out of the vehicle and offloading the goods into this house. The suspects saw the police officers and they immediately opened fire. There was an exchange of gunfire, and during the shootout, 2 of the suspects were fatally wounded and a 3rd was arrested.
Now, Brigadier, this is a residential area. I'm sure police might be questioning, you know, especially the community members, where they are aware that, you know, there were some dealings of this nature that were taking place here.
It is very disturbing for us that criminals would live in such a quite close-knit community and be undetected. And like I said, we always tell people, if you see something, say something. I'm sure residents would have noticed suspicious behavior taking place previously in this area. But when they notice that the community is silent and don't report their activities, they will obviously continue to thrive in such an area. So we will be speaking to community members and obviously trying to identify who these suspects are. Fortunately, one of them is alive and we'll be able to question him further.
Okay, thank you so much, Brigadier. Now, that was a Brigadier J. Naika, KwaZulu-Natal spokesperson, just giving us a breakdown of how this entire incident occurred here at Newlands East. As he said, that it started all the way in Port Shepstone, which is about almost 2 hours away from Durban. Police were able to track these suspects in this house behind us. As you can see, that police are still busy here at the scene. The scene is so much very active, and we are hoping that we'll give you more updates.